So if you're watching this, you tried to read chapter 3 and were just completely confused and decided you needed a little more assistance. So now we're going to read it together. Vámonos. Son las 8:30 de la noche. El señor Miranda, la señora Miranda, Miguel y Emilia están en casa y miran la televisión. So the first part is a time. 8:30, we talked about ocho would be the hour, 8. Y media means 30, so 8:30 de la noche would be at night. Mr. and Mrs. Miranda, Miguel and Emilia, are in-house and they are watching TV. Señora Miranda, oye Miguel, ya son las 8:30. ¿Dónde está Yolanda? So hopefully you notice Yolanda was missing from the family. She's kind of like, oh, it's already 8:30. Where is she at? Miguel, pero ¿no sabes, mamá? Hoy empiezan las clases de italiano. La clase es de 7 a 9 de la noche. So if you remember, Yolanda was going to learn Italian. The class is from 7 to 9 at night. Ah, sí. ¿Y cuándo empiezan tus clases de guitarra, Miguel? Remember, he was going to take classic guitar lessons. Mis clases empiezan la semana que viene. So my classes empiezan to start la semana que viene. If you notice, we have a footnote. So let's go down to 20. La semana que viene, the upcoming week. So they would start next week, the week that comes. Me gusta mucho la guitarra. I like the guitar a lot, pero sé que esta clase va a ser muy difícil. But I know this class is going to be very difficult. Bueno, pero si practicas todos los días, no va a ser difícil. Well, if you practice every day, it's not going to be difficult. Sí, Emilia, la profesora dice que voy a tener que practicar 2 a 3 horas al día. So the professor, dice, if you don't remember from last year, again, if you look it up, says that voy a tener, I'm going to have to practice 2 a 3, 2 to 3 hours al día would be each day. Yolanda entra muy feliz. Yolanda, ya estás aquí. ¿No hubo clase de italiano? Yolanda, you're here already. If you go down hubo, there was, but in this case, there wasn't Italian class because we have a no here. Sí, hubo clase, pero no voy a estudiar italiano. Yes, there was class, but I'm not going to study Italian. ¿Sabes por qué? And you should recognize por qué as why. Do you know why? Hay una excursión especial. There is a special excursion or like trip para estudiantes de arquitectura, for architecture students, a Antigua, Guatemala, to Antigua, Guatemala. Remember, they're in Costa Rica. Guatemala would be very close. It would be almost like going for us over to Chicago, okay? Y quiero ir, and I want to go. Vamos a estudiar arquitectura colonial española. So they're going to study architecture that is colonial and Spanish. So colonial Spanish architecture. Spanish as in Spain here. Señor Miranda, no, Yolanda, imposible. Solo tienes 17 años. No puedes ir sola a Guatemala. No, and so Mr. Miranda puts his foot down. He's like, you're only 17. You can't go to Guatemala by yourself. Sola would be alone. Now, this is tricky. So, yes, she wants to go to another country, but this is a country that is literally less than a couple of states away. Yes, she's 17, but she's also in college. So it's complicated. And she would be going with a school group. Pero papá, but dad, Señora Miranda, ya es tarde. It's already late. Mañana hablamos. Tomorrow we talk. And so we're leaving it with Mrs. Miranda just making the peace and saying, let's deal with this tomorrow. And so that is what happened in Capítulo 3. And this is really where our plot gets started. Now you should be able to move on and do the after reading questions. If you have any more questions, please see me. Otherwise, buena suerte. Adios.